Savuke kuseni ngo-76 sayofuna abafundisi obaqeqesha Stephen Biko General Mandala abantu abamnyama bakhala bomama bayakhala bobaba bayakhala bazale ngo-Stephen Biko savuke kuseni ngo-2015 bayilwela abafundi fees must go Stephen Biko General Commander
West is that the proponents of this backward, inward-looking, visionless nationalism, they are failing to read global dynamics as they unfold. That currently now we have the window is there for Africa to actually rise, unite and rise. America, all the empires or the or dominant countries right now, they just focus on their own internal problems now.
They are focused on their internal problems and each other.
Each other.
They are focused very much on each other.
We should be uniting into a dominant force. We should be making moves right now. Now we should be making moves.
Pushone, I actually sat and I thought that I wonder conversations that you and I are having, these strategic conversations. I imagine our leaders are having these conversations, right? Because it makes sense. Surely they are sitting around strategizing about this moment.
They're looking forward to their next trip in Europe or in Asia. They're looking at itineraries. They're telling their assistants, when are we traveling? When was the last time we had these guys in Addis Ababa at the African Union? I don't think this year. I don't remember them meeting this year. I don't remember.
Sure.
But they just met in China last week or 2 weeks before back. African leaders meet more outside Africa than they meet within the continent.
They're not even using those facilities Gaddafi built for them.
They meet more outside there than in they meet when they are touring, tourists. That's when they meet. And this whole concept where you'll have Xi Jinping or Putin or some European leader or some European leader or some American leader convening them when he's alone. Why doesn't this leader come to Addis Ababa? Because Addis Ababa, that's where the African Union is. And then you meet them there. You meet this individual there. Why you Amara? They don't ask these questions because, bruh, I need to travel.
No, it's and you see, this is why we're not getting respect with these folks.
Why not?
We need hard hitters. I'm telling you, Pushone, I think the African Union is so it's so unfelt that we don't even know when it's meeting, what were the previous resolution. It's just not, you don't feel it. You understand? It's not material.
Especially with what's happening in Congo right now, what's happening in Sudan right now, what's been happening in the Sahel. The African Union is nowhere to be found. Nowhere.
And you see, Pusho, that's where now I came with that radical idea that the new generation, we are going to come with our new African Charter. We're going to dissolve stuff. We are going to decide where, how we are going to do this thing and, move on with our new charter after we have engaged. But first, we'll have to resolve this nonsensical things between Africans quickly. I want this thing resolved quickly. I don't want, us to waste too much time on this thing, and then we can move forward.
Yeah, it's toothless. African Union is useless.
Yeah.
I think
the
if
radical
there's
idea that we can get rid of all these useless structures. If
African
we're going to
Union
have a
should be
structure,
dissolved.
it must be useful.
African Union should be dissolved and reconstituted again
By us.
differently, because
You see, Pusho, they need to get the best Pan-African minds from each region to come together. People who are who the youth give a thumbs up to in African countries, to say these individuals can represent us, and go there and dissolve all of that nonsense, because whatever agreements they've had mean nothing. Regional integration, nothing has happened, whatever.
And then really, what is Pan-Africanist about the African Union?
Nothing. I don't see it, Pusho. I'm sorry. And the thing that really made me so just lose all hope in the African Union was when I went deep into the story of Gaddafi, and I was like, it seems to be a matter of unclarity in terms of him and Museveni, and questions around betrayal, what there. So how is this Pan-African thing working? And also, these leaders, they seem to also be in contention with each other over territory, certain resources. They seem to be, so these people, and I think Ushone, these guys and whatever interests are driving them, they're a large part of why we have delayed so much, and why this has led to all these dynamics that we have, like, this hatred between Africans for whatever reason. These things are just cropping up because they've wasted time, and as time has gone on, we find ourselves here. So I think they need to go.
They're overcommitted to these many non-viable states.
Yeah.
Just so you can be called president. You don't have a dead economy, or people are starving, but you just want to be called a president. As long as you have that title, that's your achievement. Because
Pushone, they don't know that they don't have a legacy with that.
Exactly.
Because the people you are leading, you're only going to be the only people who care about your so-called legacy is your family. The people you led, I mean, if you are Ramaphosa, for example, I think what's the legacy?
Of the 55 African countries, I can make a bold claim to say 40 of them are non-viable states. At least 40 are non-viable. They're not needed. In fact, even if they were to dissolve into other states tomorrow, there won't be that much difference. 40 out of I can make that bold claim to say if 40. Because we don't know what's happening in these countries, what's happening in Malawi.
And you see, Pushone, that's where now you bring in the geopolitical imperative for more integrated regions. Let's say SADC becomes one country. In that way, you have different regions, and then you have accountability checks. So no leader is going to go unchecked in that particular region. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's why I think, Africa is so vast that I think at the very least, and this is a compromise, but it's a working compromise in my opinion, there should at least be 5 countries in Africa. 5
regions. Yeah. 5 regions.
That makes so much sense. Like, we don't need Zimbabwe, we don't need Mozambique, we don't need Botswana, we don't need Namibia.
We don't need Lesotho and Swaziland.
We don't need Lesotho, Swaziland. We don't need South Africa as well alone.
Yeah.
All of them, they must coalesce into one state. Right?
Then you'll be able to hold
include Zambia there. Include Zambia, include Malawi, one composite state. Yeah.
And then you break down the regions in manageable parts. You know what I'm saying? And make sure the accountability checks. So there's no
now is countries.
No dark spots.
Yeah, the boundaries that are now countries, you turn them into provinces.
Exactly.
You turn them into provinces. You know, you can come up with a system, but it's one country, it's one currency, one army, one central bank. You know, all that.
And it's a country that controls all of its resources. You know, Usho, the thing for me is just territorial integrity and sovereignty. Then you can solve all these issues. You see, the problem with our people is they don't understand. If you don't solve the geopolitical question, there's nothing else you can do nationally. Because when you are saying, okay, I want to take control of this land with this resource, extract it, process it, the people who actually, the foreigners, the European foreigners who own your country won't allow you. They won't allow you. No. You understand? And if it's a new discovered resource, they're gonna scramble there also. They have a lot, they will still want more. In other words, the aim is to make sure they are the only ones dominating. You see, so unless you solve the geopolitical question, you are a hamster on a wheel. Wheel spinning, as Claude Anderson puts it.
Absolutely.
You are just wheel spinning.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go back to the clips that we were meant to play.
All right. So
before we get more carried away.
Yeah.